Once upon a time, in a vibrant valley nestled between jagged mountains, lived a dog with a glossy black coat, known for his playful demeanor, but not his patience or foresight. This dog was a wanderer, trotting through fields and forests, led by instinct and curiosity. Not far from the dog's home, a small golden bee buzzed tirelessly, weaving through wildflowers. Unlike the dog, the bee was a planner, observing everything around her with sharp eyes and a mind that pieced together solutions from nature's puzzles. The bee was a silent observer of the world, seldom interfering but always aware. One sunny day, the dog found himself in trouble. While chasing the shadow of a bird, he stumbled into a patch of sticky, thorny vines. His paws were tangled, and the more he struggled, the more the thorns clung to his fur. Frustrated and whimpering, the dog barked into the empty air, hoping for a solution to magically appear. But nature is not so easily swayed by noise alone. High above, the bee, flitting between flowers, heard the dog's cries. With a mix of caution and curiosity, she descended to the ground. Hovering near the dog's snout, she observed the predicament. "Why do you struggle so blindly?" she asked, in a gentle hum. The dog snapped his head toward her. "What do you mean? I'm trying to get free." "You wouldn't understand. You're just a tiny insect." The bee chuckled softly. "Size does not determine understanding. Let me help you." The dog was skeptical. "How can someone so small help with a problem so big?" The bee buzzed closer, her wings glinting in the sunlight. "Your strength got you into this mess, but it is wisdom that will get you out. Let me show you." Reluctantly, the dog agreed. But as the bee carefully inspected the thorns, offering advice to move gently and strategically, the dog's impatience fled. He thrashed against the vines again, undoing the bee's careful work. "Why must you make this harder?" The bee sighed. "And why must you take so long?" retorted the dog. Their clash of perspectives seemed irreconcilable. But the bee did not give up. Over time, the bee convinced the dog to slow down, to observe and listen. She showed him how to nudge the vines aside carefully, one paw at a time. In return, the dog began to notice things he had previously overlooked. The way the vines twisted around one another, the gaps where sunlight filtered through, and the faint scent of wildflowers that hinted at an escape route. For the first time, the dog realized the value of patience and perspective. Just as the dog freed himself, a greater danger emerged. A shadow passed over them both. It was a hawk circling high above, its sharp eyes fixed on the bee. The dog barked, his instinct to protect surging forward. "Fly away!" he shouted. But the bee hesitated. "If I flee alone, I'll be caught in the open. I need you to shield me." The dog crouched low, his body creating a safe space for the bee. "Stay close, and I'll lead us to safety," he said. Together, they raced toward a dense thicket. The dog used his speed and size to create distractions, leaping and barking to confuse the hawk, while the bee guided him toward the safest path with her keen awareness of their surroundings. The hawk swooped, its talons grazing the air above them, but the dog's quick reflexes and the bee's precise directions ensured their escape. Finally, they dove into the shelter of a hollow log, the hawk retreating with a frustrated cry. In the quiet safety of the log, the dog and bee caught their breath. The dog looked at the bee with newfound respect. "You were right," he admitted. I needed your guidance. I couldn't have done this alone. And I needed your strength and courage, replied the bee. Together, we were able to achieve what neither of us could have done alone. They sat in silence for a moment, surrounded by the hum of the forest, their differences now a source of strength rather than conflict. When they emerged from the log, their story quickly spread among the other animals of the valley. Creatures who once lived divided by their differences began to see the value of working together. The dog and the bee became symbols of cooperation, their unlikely friendship inspiring others to embrace wisdom from all walks of life. As the dog and the bee parted ways, they knew their bond would endure. The dog, now more observant and thoughtful, trotted through the valley with a new sense of purpose. The bee, ever wise, carried the lessons of their journey back to her hive. And so, in the heart of that vibrant valley, nature itself sang of their story. A reminder that wisdom is found in unexpected places, and harmony is born when we work together. And that's the tale of the dog and the bee. What did you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for more stories that celebrate the wonders of our world. Until then, stay curious.